Hi John, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, as we mentioned on your last lesson, what we're going to be doing today is the turn in the road.
Okay.
So in a moment we're going to drive off and find a suitable location.
Right.
Okay, and then we're going to carry out the turn in the road.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a little bit of a warm-up, what we're going to do is just practice that clutch control, just like we were using on the T-junctions on the last lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a moment, if you'd like to carry out your safety checks,
Yeah.
and then we're going to drive away.
Okay.
I'll just put my seatbelt on as well.
Yeah, they're okay.
Okay, good. I thought you'd forgotten the seatbelt then for a moment. Right. Okay, John, if you'd like to start the engine for me.
Yeah.
Now, just before we move away, we're going to have a brief practice at just moving the car forwards very slowly, both in forward gear and in reverse gear. Just to give you a little bit of practice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so just show me how well you can actually move the car forwards very slowly in forward gear. Okay, just pause there for me, John.
Yeah.
We still need to carry out our safety checks, so make sure that we do check that it's safe to move forwards before
Yes,
we
I
do. So
forgot
check
about
all
that.
around the car. Is it safe to just edge forwards?
Yes.
That's it, that's very good with the clutch, John.
Just goes up and down, doesn't it?
Yeah, just up a little bit, and then when it starts to move too fast, down a little bit. That's
Right.
excellent. Okay, if you can just stop there. Okay, just put the handbrake on into neutral again. And we're going to have a go at that in reverse gear now.
Okay.
Okay, so can you remember where reverse gear is?
I haven't used reverse gear yet.
Beg your pardon, I've forgotten about that. I'm thinking of another pupil. Okay, so reverse gear on this car, we have a little collar in front of the gear stick that we need to lift.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then it goes across and away from you.
Okay.
So once we've gone into reverse gear, how do people know that we're reversing?
The lights come on at the back.
What colour are they?
They're white lights.
Good, excellent. So if you like, you just twist yourself around a little bit so you can look completely through the back window. That's better. Okay, and then just edge the car backwards using that clutch control. So look through the back window
Okay.
and stop there for me. That's very good, that, John.
Okay.
And into neutral. Okay, that technique that we were using there is going to come in very handy for when we do the turn in the road.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to drive away to the location.
Yes.
Okay, so when it's safe, we'll drive on. So where are you going to check before you move away?
I've got to look all around the car.
Very good. Good. Do we need a signal?
Yes, because people.
Well done. That's it. A little bit further ahead, I'd like you to take the next left, please.
Okay.
So which mirrors are you going to check?
Middle one. And that door one.
Okay, John, just try and use larger movements on that steering wheel. Just give you a little bit more leverage and it'll help us on that turn in the road.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so we've got a bend coming up. Which mirror are you going to check?
The middle one.
Well done.
More like that.
That's better with the steering. Yeah, that's much better. See how much smoother that was for
Oh
you?
yeah. Yeah.
At the end, I'd like you to turn left, please, John. So what routine are you going to use?
I've got to check my mirrors first.
That's that signal. What gear are you going to use?
It's one of those closed junctions, so probably going first gear.
Well done, that was nice clutch control there. Moving away, John.
Okay.
And I'd like you to take the next right. So look into that junction, John.
Alright.
And then we're going to take the next left, please. Some nice big movements on that steering wheel. over somewhere on the left. That'll do nicely, John. Okay, John, if you'd like to switch the engine off for me for a moment. Right then, we've arrived at the location where we're going to carry out the turn in the road. Okay, and I'm just going to show you a diagram. Now, the purpose of the turn in the road is to be able to turn the car around to face the opposite direction using forward and reverse gears. Now, there is a secret to doing this exercise. That's being able to control the car at very slow speeds using that clutch control that we practiced just before we moved away. And also, if you noticed on the drive here, we were practicing your steering using bigger movements on that steering wheel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the secret behind that as well is knowing how much to steer. And in general, if you look in the direction that you want to go, that will give you the idea of how much to steer when you do this exercise.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. So, looking at the diagram now, where do you think we would have to do this manoeuvre?
On a wide road.
In general, yes, but what do you think might be the reasons behind why we would have to do this manoeuvre in the first place?
Oh, in case we've come the wrong way.
Perhaps, so if you look at there, perhaps we've driven into a cul-de-sac, or we've driven onto a road where there's perhaps a blockage, maybe the bin wagon that we've seen today as we were driving round. So we needed to turn around to take us in the opposite direction again.
I see.
Okay. Where do you think it wouldn't be suitable to do the turn in the road?
On a one-way street.
Good, you've been looking at the diagram there for me.
Yeah.
Or perhaps if we've got a sign that says no U-turns. Would you do this on perhaps a busy road as well?
Well, I don't think it'd be very safe there.
Okay, why not?
We'd be holding up all the traffic.
Exactly. So we've got to think when we come to do this manoeuvre, is it safe, is it legal, is it convenient? Okay.
Okay.
So for instance, the safety side of it, perhaps if there's a lot of children playing around in the location where we want to do it, we might choose somewhere a little bit further down the road. Okay.
Yes.
All those considerations we're going to take into account. Now, we mentioned about the control of the car, using that clutch control and that brisk movement of the steering wheel. If we have a think about the control of the car, if we look at this part of the diagram, if you notice, we have a diagram here that describes what we call as the camber of the road. Can you see how the road slopes away to the sides?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So as the car approaches the curb on that side, what do you think is going to happen to the car?
I think it'll run down the curb.
So how are you going to control the car more then?
Use the brake pedal.
Yes, cover your brake and cover your clutch, press the brake, and then just as we come towards the curb, we're going to apply the handbrake as well, because that's going to stop us rolling into the curb. We can control the car a little bit more there.
Okay.
Okay, so now we'll move on to this diagram here. Now, in effect, we're parked in position A.
Yes.
So we're going to go into first gear. We're going to do our normal all-round checks before we move away to make it safe. Okay. Provided that it is safe, we're going to start to move the car slowly forwards.
Yes.
As the car starts to move, we're going to turn the steering wheel briskly to the right. Hopefully to the point where it won't turn any further. And that's what we would call full lock. Okay, happy with that?
Yeah, yeah.
As we go towards the other curb, and it'll be somewhere towards where that green bin is on this occasion, okay,
Yes.
we're going to start to lose sight of the curbstone opposite us. Now, at various points during this manoeuvre, I'm going to ask you to pause for me so I can point various things out to you. Okay, so when I ask you to pause, all I'd like you to do is to press the brake and put the clutch all the way down. Okay.
Yeah.
As we get close to the curb, we're going to start to turn the wheels back towards the left. Why do you think we turn the wheels back towards the left?
Is that to get ready for the reversing?
Exactly, because that's going to give us a head start on the next part of the manoeuvre.
I see, yeah.
Now, when we get to that point where we're going to start to turn the wheels back towards the left, also what we're going to do is we're going to start to look more through the driver's side window, because we're going to be looking for where the curbstone is. You remember how we judge where the giveaway lines are at T-junctions?
Yes.
We're going to get the same kind of view. I'll prompt you where to stop as well, handbrake on, and then I'll ask you to have a look how we can judge it a little bit better.
Yeah.
We've put the handbrake on, we're going to go into reverse gear,
Yeah.
then we're going to use all-round observation, so we're going to look down the road, up the road to the left, and we're going to look over our left shoulder.
Yes.
Throughout, whilst we're doing this manoeuvre, we're going to carry on using all-round observation, checking for anyone approaching into that area. Okay. Provided it's safe, we'll take the handbrake off and we'll start to reverse slowly, turning the wheels briskly to the left.
Yeah.
Okay. As the car comes back across the road, the angle of the car is going to start to alter. Okay. Again, I will ask you to pause at some point, and what we're going to then do, as this corner of the car gets closer to the curb, we're going to start to look more over our right shoulder, starting to look for this curbstone here. Okay.
Yeah.
As we get close to the curb, we're going to start to turn the wheels to the right.
Mm-hmm.
When we get close to the curb, I'll ask you to stop, and again we're going to judge what that curb looks like to you in relation to the car. I'm going to put the handbrake on, into first gear. We're going to carry out all-round observation, so we're going to check down the road to the right, up the road to the left, making sure that it's safe to proceed. Provided it's safe, we're going to start moving the car slowly forwards, turning the wheels to the right, and we're going to pull up on the left. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to stop there and we'll discuss what we've carried out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we might have some vehicles approach us whilst we're doing this manoeuvre, or we could have pedestrians approach into the area.
Yeah.
So what do you think we should do if we have anything approaches the area?
Shall we stop the car?
Yes, we're going to stop the car, get eye contact with the vehicle or the pedestrian, and then when it's safe we will proceed. Not
Okay.
until then. Okay, John, so we're going to have a go at that now. Now, for the moment, do you have any questions for me about that?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay, now I'm going to talk you through everything, and then we're
Okay.
going to carry out the manoeuvre.
Alright, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you'd like to start the engine for me, we'll give that a go. Okay, John, into first gear. Set your gas and find your biting point as appropriate. And what are we going to check before we move away?
All round the car.
Well done. Is it safe to move away?
Can't see anybody.
Good. So release the handbrake. As we start to move slowly forwards, turning the wheel briskly to the right, look towards your right, John, where the car's travelling towards. Slow that down, brake a little bit. Just pause there for me, John. Okay, so we can see how the curb has disappeared below the bonnet.
Yes.
So what I want you to do now is to start looking more over your right shoulder through the driver's side window, and
Yeah.
we're going to look for where that curb is. And also, as you start to move forwards now, we're going to start to turn the wheels briskly to the left.
Okay.
So just move the car slowly forwards, turning to the left, steer left, 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 and stop there for me. Handbrake on, and just put the car into neutral for a moment while we just have a look at something. I want you to remember where that curbstone looks to you to be now.
Right, he's sitting just below the mirror.
Excellent. So that's what we're going to use as our reference point for the next time we do this manoeuvre.
Right.
Okay, so go into reverse gear for me. So set your gas and find your biting point as necessary. Now we're going to do our all-round checks. So have your handbrake ready. Look down the road to the right. Check to your left. Look all the way over behind your left shoulder through the back window. Is it safe to move away?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so release the handbrake. As we start to move, turn the wheels to the left, over your left shoulder, all the way through the back window, keeping your all-round observation. Just pause there. Now, as you can see, the angle of the car has started to change, so we're going to start to look more over our right shoulder because the back right corner of the car is closer to the curb.
Okay.
Okay, keeping checking up and down the road. Now, looking over that right shoulder, as we start to move back, we're going to turn the wheels briskly to the right. That's it, well done. We've waited for the pedestrian to walk past. Steering to the right and stop there for me, John. Handbrake on, into neutral. Again, we're just going to check where that curbstone is, and I want you to memorise that view again.
Just in the corner of the window.
That's excellent, John. Now, usually we would just change gear straight into first, but for the purposes of looking for that reference point, that's why we've waited in neutral at the moment.
I see.
Okay, so into first gear. Set your gas and find your biting point as necessary. Where are we going to check before we move away?
All round again.
Yeah. Is it safe to the right?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's safe, release the handbrake, looking in the direction that you're going to be travelling in, steering to the right. That's it, and we're going to pull over somewhere on the left, John. Do we need a signal?
Yes, there's some pedestrians there.
Well done. That should do fine there, John. Handbrake on, into neutral. You can cancel that indicator for me. If you just tap down lightly on the indicator, John. Okay, and if you'd like to switch the engine off for me. Now for your first attempt, John, that was absolutely excellent. Now what we're going to do, we're going to practice that manoeuvre on various widths of road now, and we're going to carry on the lesson doing that.
Okay, yep.